Nobody cares about your dreams, your fears, or your pain as much as you do. And that might sound cold, but it's not cruelty. It's clarity. I remember standing in a meeting once, sharing an idea I thought could change everything. And when I finished, silence. People glanced at their notes, checked their phones, moved on. That's when I realized no one is here to rescue me. The sooner you stop waiting for someone to save you, the sooner you start saving yourself. That's where Stoic philosophy begins. Not with applause, not with validation, but with ownership. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor of Rome, didn't write his meditations to impress others. He wasn't posting quotes for likes or comments. He wrote to stay aligned with himself. Because he knew this. The world may or may not be watching you, but you are always watching yourself. When you stop performing for the world, you become who you were meant to be. The Stoic spirit and the lesson of Marcus Aurelius. The Stoics didn't chase validation. They didn't live for applause. They pursued something far more enduring: virtue, strength of character, integrity, clarity of thought. Think about this. True strength is never about how many people see you. It's forged in silence when nobody's watching. It's not the Instagram post, not the round of applause in a meeting, not the pat on the back from your boss. It's the choices you make when you're alone. The habits you repeat when no one is there to clap. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire. Yet every night, he reminded himself of one truth. We all love ourselves more than others, but we care more about their opinion than our own. How often do we do the same today? How often do we hesitate, doubt, or edit ourselves just because we're worried about strangers on the internet? The Stoic answer is simple. Stop giving your energy to the crowd. Start owning your life. The 3 pillars of Stoic freedom. Pillar 1. No one is watching as closely as you think. Let's be honest. We've all felt it. You walk into a room, share an idea, post something online, and instantly wonder, what are they thinking about me right now? It feels like everyone is watching, judging, taking notes. But here's the truth. Most people aren't thinking about you. They're thinking about themselves. They're busy with their own chaos. I remember posting something online that felt deeply personal. I refreshed the page, waiting for comments, waiting for approval. And you know what happened? Nothing. A few likes, a couple scrolls, and then silence. At first it stung, but then I realized maybe that's the gift. Nobody's really watching. Your life is not a performance. It's not a show. And when you finally understand that, it's freeing. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, don't waste time worrying about what others do or think. Focus on what you control. The anxiety you feel before speaking up, the hesitation before acting, it's rooted in imaginary eyes, eyes that aren't even watching. So when you realize no one's really watching, you stop performing and you start building. Ask yourself, if no one ever knew I did this, would I still do it? That's the difference between a performer and a builder. The Stoic chooses to build. Pillar 2. Entitlement destroys growth. Here's a hard truth. You are not owed support. Not because you tried, not because you're in pain, not even because you exist. And yes, that sounds harsh, but it's actually liberating. I used to think that because I worked hard, opportunities should come my way. But when they didn't, I felt bitter. Then I realized no one owed me recognition. No one owed me comfort. And in that moment, Instead of waiting, I started building. Epictetus once said, "Don't wish for things to happen as you want. Wish for them to happen as they do, and you will live in peace." The Stoic doesn't expect comfort. He prepares for discomfort. Entitlement whispers, "You deserve better." Stoicism replies, "Earn better." The world owes you nothing. So when it gives you nothing, don't collapse. Build. The absence of help is not injustice. It's a challenge, a test, an invitation to grow. When you let go of entitlement, you stop waiting. You stop complaining. You start creating. And here's the paradox. Everything you build from zero will mean more. Everything you overcome without applause becomes part of your foundation. You are not helpless. You are powerful. But only if you stop waiting to be saved and start saving yourself. Pillar 3. Own the one thing you truly control, your mind. You don't control the economy. You don't control your past. You don't control how others see you. But you do control one thing completely, your mind. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." I remember a morning when everything seemed to go wrong. Emails piling up, deadlines slipping, people criticizing. I felt chaos outside, but then I stopped, closed my eyes, and took 10 breaths. And in that silence, I realized none of those things had power over me. Only my mind did. And yet, in today's world, we guard everything except our thoughts. We protect our passwords more than our peace. We defend our image more than our inner world. But the Stoic knows everything begins in the mind: clarity, discipline, peace, action, character. If your mind is weak, your life collapses under pressure. If your mind is trained, you can face anything with composure. So what does it mean to own your mind? It means questioning your thoughts instead of obeying them, challenging your reactions instead of indulging them, directing your focus like a weapon. Because if you don't lead your mind, someone else will. Practical Stoic practices. How to train ownership. This isn't just philosophy, it's practice. The Stoics gave us tools we can use right now. Practice 1, the 10-second rule. Before reacting, pause, count to 10, breathe, let the emotion pass like a wave. One pause can prevent 1,000 regrets. Practice 2, 1 hour of solitude. Every day, block 1 hour. No phone, no notifications, just you and your thoughts. Journal, reflect, observe. The person who can sit alone in silence becomes unshakable in the crowd. Practice 3, no comparison hour. Take 1 hour off social media. Use that time to review your goals, not someone else's highlight reel. Comparison kills direction. Focus rebuilds it. Conclusion. The Stoic way. Nobody is watching you as closely as you think, and that's not something to fear. It's the key to your freedom. When you stop performing for the world, you start showing up for yourself. When you stop chasing validation, you start cultivating character. The Stoic way is simple. You don't need applause to be disciplined. You don't need recognition to be powerful. You don't need anyone's permission to begin. So let me ask you, what did you become today? Not what you achieved, not who approved, but who you became. Stronger, wiser, clearer. That's the only scoreboard that matters. And if this message sparked something in you, subscribe. Because here, we don't just give you motivation for a moment. We train the mind. We build discipline. We create clarity. In a world full of noise, we offer direction. In a world full of distraction, we build strength. So if that's what you're looking for, this is your space. Drop a comment below with this commitment. I take full ownership of my life. Let that be your first act of ownership, visible and intentional. And remember, the world may not be watching, but you are, and that is more than enough.